I would know, right? Oh, okay. I can see it up there.
Yeah. So hi. Hi, Danielle.
Hi. Hi
How
again.
are you? Hi
I'm
again.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm good.
So,
I'm
yeah,
good.
so we are here today to talk about Little Miss Sunshine. And
Right.
I thank you for um, agreeing with this project. It's a pleasure to talk to you again. You know how much I enjoyed our first two conversations. They were
Right.
awesome. I
Thank you
had a
very
lot
much.
to think about. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Little Miss
Mhm.
Sunshine, you told
Right.
me that you have seen it before. So,
Yep. Earlier. Yeah.
yeah.
I guess I saw it. Yeah, I think as I said, yeah, maybe 6 years ago,
Mhm.
probably. And I remember watching it then. And I'm not a person who likes sad films. I don't necessarily like to cry from a film, but I
Mhm.
remember it distinctly. I remember it specifically because it was really funny and quite sad as well, like a good mix of both of them, which was interesting to me. And I think it's the actors also. I like Steve Carell. I actually do enjoy watching Steve Carell, and he's really funny as an actor. So seeing him there was really refreshing, I guess. And I like how I think the best part of the film is how they tackle serious issues with the daughter. I mean, with suicide and uh, sexuality and death, and also just like body issues. The scene where like with the
Yeah.
body issues part, I like the way they were able to handle those situations without being like they didn't go too far, and it was just very delicate and very well handled. I think I wish more people talked like that, but yeah, mostly I remember that about the film, and the girl was really really great in the film,
The
the
little
little girl.
girl?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, she was amazing. She was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you were absolutely right. They did you use the word tackle?
Yeah,
I
I used the
understood
word
by the
tackle.
context, so I'm going
Yeah.
to use it. They tackle,
Yeah, yeah, they
they
handle
tackle,
very
they
effectively.
handle, but I like this new word. They tackle issues. They tackle these these very delicate issues, but without going too deep and without losing the lightness of the movie. Like you
Yeah.
said, sexuality, body image, also marriage
Yeah,
and like
absolutely.
suicide
Hmm.
and what else? What else? What else? What
Death.
else? Death. And also, I think for me, the most important was like how America is portrayed like
Portray
this. Say it again, please.
portrayed.
Portrayed like
Hmm.
this place where everyone can be happy and everything is perfect,
Right.
especially the family, like this ideal family. But you see that it's not quite like that in
Hmm.
reality.
Right.
And yeah, so the movie starts very interestingly with Olive
Hmm.
rewatching old TV shows,
Tapes.
programs,
Old tapes.
old tapes of American
Beauty
pigeons,
pageants.
pageants,
Hmm.
and she's trying to mimic what they're doing. So she's thinking that maybe one day she'll be in that position. She dreams of being like a Miss America,
Yeah.
and that is interesting because she is not the she's not the stereotype of a beauty queen,
Yeah, what you would expect,
what
yes.
you would
I think that
expect.
was very important because from the film, from the beginning of the film, she could still see herself in that image, even if it wasn't the way she looked. And you could tell that at that point, she didn't really care about her body. She didn't care
Yeah.
that if she was skinny or not. And I thought it was really, really important because a lot of people from young, and if you watched ahead, you could see that the other little kids, they obviously were like skinnier, but even then
Yeah.
she didn't necessarily, it didn't necessarily come up to her like that, oh, my body is different from what these people are. It just like she felt that she could do it, and
Yeah.
that was all that was important to her. Yeah, I think the
Yeah.
body, the first scene when we were looking at the screen and then we're looking at her face and the screen and her face and then it zooms out to her body. I think that was just really important, that in that scene she didn't try to like look skinny or something at that moment. I think a great opening scene actually.
Yeah, amazing, amazing. Yeah, were the adults were the people telling her that she couldn't, her father, and but she didn't know, and I think she
Didn't
didn't
know.
know.
Right.
She didn't know. And that's the thing with children. They think they can and they can, but we keep telling them like
Mhm.
what they can or cannot do. So that
Right.
scene with the ice cream, when her father tells her that those people that she admires,
Hmm.
those miss something,
Right.
that they do not eat ice cream. And then she, does anyone want my ice cream? And then her family, the other members make her feel like it is fun
Right.
to have ice cream. And then so there is what so when she decided that she's going to eat the ice cream, um, for me it was like we have what society expects and our individual choices, but usually it's very easy to go with the expectations of society. So do not eat ice cream.
Hmm.
But when she decided that she's going to have it, it was like, okay, so we can choose. For me, one of like the biggest messages of this movie is that we have the power to choose. Like,
Yeah.
it is okay to disagree with everyone
Hmm.
if what we want will make us happy, but it's difficult. It's
Right.
difficult to
It
go
is
against all
the
of
norm.
that, all the norm, the
Yeah.
current ideology. It's
Definitely.
difficult.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is very difficult. That's why I think, showing her family, the other three, except her father, the other three, like pushing her, like not pushing her, but like showing her that it was okay to
Hmm.
not be like not do what her father had said. In our world now, we have a lot of people who are like, I think, in the limelight and which people focus on. Generally, I don't think that we should put responsibility on celebrities, but I think just like her family showed her that it was okay to take the ice cream,
Yeah.
other people should be showing younger people or showing others that, like, okay, it's okay even if this isn't the norm, but it is okay to
Yeah.
do it. That is the responsibility of family and friends, of course, of close friends and people that you love, to be able to show you that although you're not what society says is normal, you are
Hmm.
okay. You're fine being who you are. And as I said before, I hate to put that responsibility on celebrities or
Yeah.
people who are famous, because they are people and they are not responsible for our choices. But a little bit, I think that they should choose to, shed light on those issues, especially with body image and stuff
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
world, I guess.
Yeah, I don't believe it's their responsibilities. They are also part of a system, of
Right.
a huge system. It's not on them. It's they
Right. Exactly.
suffer the pressure as well of having,
Yeah. Yeah.
of needing to
Of,
have that body. So a personal question, Daniel, and you can
sure.
answer or you cannot.
Okay.
Have you ever
You could.
doubt?
You can choose to answer.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
it's,
yeah. You
yeah.
can choose to answer or not.
Mhm.
So
Right.
I wanted to know if you have ever doubt your self, yourself.
Have
I'm
you
not sure if I could
doubted
say. Have
like
you ever
myself?
doubted? No, have
Yeah.
you ever doubted your image?
Like
Maybe
physical
say,
image?
yeah, or yeah, could I ask this like saying your self-image,
Sure.
your body image? Have you ever
Body?
doubt
Sure.
your
Like
body? Uh,
measured it to what like standards are, or what?
yeah, to
Considered
standards
myself like less than the, well,
or
I
more
yeah,
than who knows?
or more than. Right. No, yeah, definitely. I think when I have three sisters, and I
Because
like to say this.
you dance well, right? I've seen it. I must say it. You are an amazing dancer. So
Thank you. I try. I'm older now, so no.
older, 20, 26.
Yeah, 26.
Oh my God, so old.
But no, about the image. Yeah, yeah. I grew up with three sisters, and I like to say this, but they've been really beautiful all their lives, and they're really, really beautiful people. And so when I was younger, definitely I did feel like the less attractive person in my family.
Oh.
When I was a little, I think when I was 12, mostly, I hated mirrors actually. And I did feel like the less attractive person in my family when I was a child. And as I grew older, my sister would joke and say that I'm growing into my looks. And, and she meant it really positively because as I grew older, she kept telling me, "Oh, wow, you're really getting handsome as you're growing
Uh,
older and you're growing into your looks." But yeah, there was a long time that I did feel like I didn't look um, good. I'd say right now I don't have that problem, honestly.
mm,
And sometimes I'm maybe too, as you said, I think maybe I'm too cocky sometimes actually.
ooh.
But no, now I don't I don't have that problem. I grew up with that problem and a little bit not so long ago when I started to like I exercise a lot. I tried to exercise and work out a lot and I started to do that kind of because I wanted to like uh substitute for my face. being being not so attractive, but I think that honestly I just look at myself in the mirror a lot and say, okay, you look really good, you're not a bad looking person. And I stopped like measuring myself to other people and like trying to see what other people looked like and trying to look like those people. I'm more settled and relaxed in how I look, and it's good. So I don't have that problem now. But when I was growing up, I grew up with beautiful people, so I did feel like I was the less attractive person. But it's also important for your family not to be concerned in such things, and my family wasn't growing up. My
Yeah.
mother wasn't like trying to make everybody be skinny or something. We're normal people.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
it's normal for teenagers, I think. Almost every teenager does grow through that stage where they feel like they're less than attractive.
Yeah.
And if you are not around people that I think if you're not around people that make you feel like not like just fine, you will be you probably will go deeper into that thing. And just also I think it's important to realize that everyone is pretty, like really.
Yes. Yeah.
I
It's
think we
true.
just have this, back just to hit on celebrity culture a little bit. We have this like most beautiful people in the world or most handsome people in the world. It's ridiculous
It is.
because that thing makes people go, oh, that person is a beautiful person and that person is not beautiful. But everybody's beautiful with a little lotion. Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
I
But
I
yeah.
agree. I agree with you. I do think that everyone is beautiful. There is this
Mhm.
book that I've read some time ago that compares like the animals and
Mhm.
humans. Like you wouldn't go into nature and saying, "Oh, that giraffe, it's ugly. The
Right.
other giraffe is
More
prettier
beautiful.
than it's more beautiful." And why do we do that with humans? Why do we go and we classify and we judge one as
Maybe
prettier?
giraffes do it to each other.
Hmm?
Maybe giraffes do it to each other.
Maybe. Do you think so? I don't. All the
Like,
animals are pretty. I
yeah.
mean,
No, I mean, well,
yeah.
eh, not all, but I'm kidding.
Oh, which animal don't you find
Oh
pretty?
my God. Well, personally, and people are going to hate me for this because everybody hates me. I don't find dogs pretty. I don't think dogs are. I
Ooh,
know.
but you don't find them pretty or you don't like them or both?
Both.
Oh, oh my
No, I
God,
don't think dogs
that's
are cute. A
not a
lot of
good
people
thing.
think.
You're going to receive a lot of
I
hate.
know.
I
Yeah.
know.
And
You're
I
lucky
know. I
that no
don't
one
think
watches
dogs
these
are.
videos because if they did, okay, if someone is watching, post a comment. Uh,
Right.
what comments?
But
Hashtag Daniel doesn't like dogs.
right. No, but I mean,
Nobody's
they
going to
are
like.
fine. They're
They're
not.
fine. Okay,
They're
explain.
not cute or anything. They're
Mm,
just fine looking animals. Mm.
yeah, yeah,
But
it's better to say
no,
that.
but did you like if I may ask the same question back to
Mm,
you, growing up, did you have moments where you had like body issues?
yeah, I would say that I still do have body issues. It was not because my family was pretty. The- I mean, they're normal, but I don't know. I think it all started. I'll tell you a personal story. Uh, okay, so there was once, difficult for me to tell this, but I didn't know that I wasn't pretty. I mean, I think everyone is pretty. Children, they're pretty. I was 6 or 7, and there was this popular kid in my class. I'm not sure if I should say his name, but I won't. But uh, so we have this in June. We have a celebration here. It is a party, and people dance with each other in this party. And every year, the teacher selects who is going to dance with who. And so I was not a popular kid. It's interesting to think that when you're 6, there are popular kids with
Yeah,
6
you know,
year.
I don't think it was such a thing in my country actually. When I saw it
Yeah,
in movies when I saw it in American movies, I was kind of shocked that that was a thing that people invested
yeah,
their time
yeah.
in.
No,
But yeah,
but no, in Brazil, or at least in smaller cities, it's about who your father or mother is. So you're popular if the rector, the principal, or the teachers know your parents and know that you come
right.
from a wealthy
Well,
family.
okay.
This boy, he would always dance with the same girl since we were 3 years old, the same. But so that on the day that the teacher was speaking the pairing,
Hmm. Yeah,
the girl who was supposed to dance with him, she didn't come
she
to the.
wasn't. Oh,
She
okay.
wasn't there. So
Hmm.
the teacher picked me to dance with him. He was popular, and
Right.
everyone liked him. He was beautiful. I don't know. I was 6, but he was. And then I remember going home. I was so happy. I was jumping. I was dancing. I was running. I came up and told my mom that I was going to dance with him. And but some hours later, he came up to my house, knocked on the door, and said, "I'm not going to dance with you, because that girl, her mother called my mother, and now I'm going to dance with her. Sorry." And then I didn't dance with anyone because all the people they were paired. No one was left for me to
Oh,
dance. And from that day on, I remember I only discovered this recently in therapy, actually. I
mhm.
forgot about that. I'm 31. That happened like 20, I don't know, 20
You really
something
want to
years.
do the math?
No, I don't want to do.
Okay.
So it happened a long time ago. But I think all my insecurities started
Mhm.
there. Like,
Oh,
so I remember, I don't know, since that day, this feeling of rejection,
rejection.
like it's very strong. I'm very afraid of being rejected, and I mean the smallest thing. If I say hi and the person, if I mean, no, that's too much. But I will think
Oh,
the smallest
understandable.
detail will make me think that I'm reliving that situation again. That this person is going to dance with that other girl because I don't
No,
know.
but the thing is, did he told you that he wasn't going to dance with you because the other girl his mother called his mother, right?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it was something
where
like
did
that.
the insinuation that it was because you're not pretty come from?
No, there was not an insinuation. I guess that was all how I felt. I felt like
Right.
rejected, and then I thought, and then I looked at the girl, and I was like, and then I really not admire her, but I looked
Right.
at her, and I
You
was
made it up
wondering,
I feel like what I'm saying is like you made up this
yeah,
reason
yeah,
and then
I,
it just stayed, right?
yeah, no, yeah, I made up, totally,
Yeah.
totally, totally. And then I started thinking, if I were her, if I
Mhm.
were, you know, if I had the same shoes that she does, if I had the same body, if I had the same jokes and lightness, she would,
Mhm.
you know,
No, I get what you're saying. I
yeah,
understand. how rejection works.
No, 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 no. But he didn't say she's
Okay.
prettier, she's
Yeah,
better.
exactly.
He
That's
didn't
what I
say.
mean. Like
He just said
we just make things up and we start
we do.
creating reasons why
Yeah.
it didn't happen. And usually
Hmm.
that is the failure. Even as adults, you could be with somebody and suddenly something happens and you're not with the person anymore. And
Yeah.
rather than just, and usually the thing is we don't have a great reason why these things happen. So we
Yeah.
make them up in our head. If human
Yeah.
beings were just nice enough to give everybody reasons for rejections, like good reasons for
Reasons for
rejection,
rejection.
then
Hey,
we would be
I'm
fine. We would be fine. But people don't give reasons, and you start to
yeah.
make up things in your head, and that's where like we get all messed up, even as adults. We just
Yeah.
hate. I know rejection, and we all hate rejection. But I
Yeah.
think it's
Yeah.
important to like really go back if you're going to handle getting rejected. Sorry about that.
Hmm. Hmm. No problem.
It's important to really go back and ask yourself, like, especially when you've created a reason, just ask yourself, like, who told me this? Who
Who
told me
told me
that this is
this?
why?
Yeah.
Like, who told
Yeah.
me that it's because I'm not this or something? And
Yeah. No,
maybe I
yeah.
don't heard it that way. But
Yeah.
I know rejection well.
No,
It's not
no, no.
easy.
Yeah, I guess we all know. We all know rejection. Yes, but you got a point. It is that who told me this? Because we do not have the other side of the story, and people
Right.
they are allowed to want to allowed of wanting to dance with the other person.
They're allowed to dance with who they want to dance
They
with.
are allowed to dance with
Yeah,
you want to
exactly.
dance. You wanted to dance
Yeah.
with her, fine. I
Right.
think I wouldn't want him dancing with me, but really mad and like I'm dancing with her because the teacher made me. Like
Yeah.
we do not want people being forced to stay with us just because
Right.
we can let go. Yeah. So I want to ask you something.
Okay.
So there are a lot of interesting things to talk about, but I would like to read to you a quote that I wrote down. So
Sure.
remember when? Do you remember Frank? Frank was the suicidal uncle,
Cool. Yeah.
and Dwayne, that it was the boy who made the silence vowel. That
Mhm.
I thought it was wonderful. I really want to make a silence
A vow
vowel,
of silence.
a vowel silence.
Yes, a vow
Uh,
of silence.
I want to do that one day. I imagine that it might be cool, or at
I
least for a
don't think
weekend.
I would be successful. I've thought
Really?
about doing it, but I don't think I'd be successful. I talk to myself a lot at home.
You do?
I'm Yeah, I'm
Loudly?
literally my best friend. I make myself laugh. I talk to myself. I sing a lot. It's gonna be impossible for me to be quiet.
Yeah, so this job is perfect for you, Daniel.
Yeah. Right.
So,
But the
no,
quote.
no, 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 no. Tell me. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say the quote.
Yeah, okay. So the quote. So they are talking. Do you say the Pierre when they are looking at the sea,
On
the
yeah, the Pierre. Yeah.
the Pierre?
Hmm.
So it says, uh, okay. He's talking about Marcel Proust because he studied.
Hmm. Yeah,
There's
bro.
this French author.
You're
He
right.
wrote
Mhm.
um, "In Search of Lost Time," and then he says that Proust, by the end of his life, I think he said, all those years he suffered. No, he said, all the French said,
Mhm.
all those years he suffered. Those were the best years of his life because they made him who he was. All those years he was happy, a total waste. Didn't learn a thing. He didn't learn a
Yeah.
thing. So I want to ask you if you have learned a lot from pain, if you agree with this quote, and if we could find some teaching, learning in happiness as well.
Right. I do think that it is important. I think if you notice in the world, a lot of people that don't have a real sense of themselves and a real sense of what life is haven't experienced life in all its like in all its like in everything it has to give, and a lot of life has a lot of pain to give, unfortunately, and there is a lot of suffering that just comes with existing. And I think it's very important because that is actually what really life is. Because when you have gone through that suffering and gone through that pain and come out of it, first with happiness, I think it's impossible to really, I don't know if I've said this before, but it's impossible to really experience happiness without having gone through pain,
Yeah.
because you don't know what happiness is if you haven't really lacked it, you know. So when you are happy, you understand, oh gosh, this is so different from what I was before, and I know what this is, you know, and
Yeah.
you're really really happy. And if I hadn't gone through all the pain that I've gone through in my life, you know, with like being young and being a teenager and stuff, I wouldn't be able to like understand myself, because myself was born from that pain. So I
Yeah.
think it's very important yet to really go through life fully to be able to understand what life
Mhm.
is, which means happiness and pain and joy and laughter, and then there's crying. If you haven't really like searched yourself, and you get that only from like without inner reflection, you will never know what who you are, who you want to be, or
Mhm.
never really understand life.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agreed with the quote. The suffering part is literally the part that makes you. And if you just somehow come out in this world and just like glide on through without any kind of pain, which I think is difficult, because a lot of times we think of suffering as pain, as very very deep things, you know. But everybody goes through pain in different ways, and I think it's difficult to go through life without feeling pain once. Of course, people run away from the pain. That is where the problem is. You know, they don't want to sit and experience it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you don't sit and reflect and experience pain fully, you will not know what happiness it is. You will not have the drive to never go back to that place of pain, and you keep leaving, just keep leaving there. But so yeah, I think yeah, suffering is necessary for life, and
Yeah.
everything that I've gone through literally makes me very driven. And you see that I work a lot, because I know what it is like not to have work, and it's a little bit too much, you know. I've gone
Daniel,
overkill.
come on. Come on. It is a lot. It is
Yeah,
a
it is
lot.
a lot, but I'm who I am here because I've gone through different series of things, and I've been
Yeah.
able to have self-realization and know what I want. I have drive, I have a goal, I have motivation, all because of the suffering that I experience. And also
Exactly.
I'm happy because I understand what pain really, like I understand what it is to be really sad and down. And so when I'm happy, I know I am happy. Of course I shouldn't
Yeah.
be like all the time, but I know happiness,
Mhm.
and I know like I know there's more, you know, and things like
Mhm.
I know not to go back,
Yeah.
mostly,
Yeah.
most
Wow.
importantly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That was such an amazing answer.
Thank you.
Speechless.
But
So
I know I don't really know what I said necessarily, because
you have
I
a
think I said it,
script
I said
there?
it before. No, I think I've said it to you before, but when I start speaking, I like to have conversations with people because they help me realize
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I make notes sometimes when I'm having arguments with friends, and I just write it down, because when I speak, I learn more about what's
Yeah.
happening in my mind, right? And I learn more about other people. And so I can write. So sometimes I start speaking, and I just go like, oh, okay, wow, okay, this and this and this. And then that is my answer. So I may not know what I said.
I may not know what I said. Amazing sentence. I just want to show you something. I have two cats here paying close attention to our conversation.
Well,
This is
hello.
one, and this is the other. They are very, very
Yeah, I
interested.
like cats.
You do?
I
You
don't
find
have
them pretty?
any. No, they're just very self-dependent and independent.
Yeah.
They would not bother you. That's what I like
Mhm.
about them.
They don't
I
bother
like
you.
animals as I think people should like animals. Leave them alone.
Yeah.
That is my thing. Just leave them alone, and that's all. I prefer cats to dogs, though.
Me too. Me too. I do like dogs though, but cats, they're my
Okay.
favorite.
What are their
Yes.
names, by the way? Before we
Mhm.
continue, sorry.
So before we continue, so this one is Shana. Hey, anyone?
Okay.
Hey, hey, hey.
Shana.
And this one, he has an eye problem. He's going to have surgery.
Right.
His name is Chorão, which is
Oh, I cannot pronounce that. Sorry.
yeah.
Could you repeat?
chorão, it means crying in Portuguese because
Chorão.
chorão, yes. And
Okay.
there I have another by the window,
Okay. By the oh on the windowsill.
in the window, yeah, it's black.
Okay.
His name
Mm-hmm.
is Fofo, which is cute in Portuguese. So,
Nice names.
oh, and here I have ah, I'm not sure if I can show you.
Yeah.
Here I have another.
Oh.
Her name
Okay.
is oh, this is a
How?
mess. Her name is Mimosa. Mimosa. So
Okay. How do you have this four cats? Do you like cats that much?
I actually have five,
Oh
uh,
wow. Okay.
but only four here. The other one is hiding.
Oh,
I do like cats, but they were all rescued, so
oh,
I had to take them from dangerous situations. So
mhm.
that's the reason. Uh,
Right.
yeah, it's difficult to take care of all of them, especially now that I'm moving on Monday. I'm moving to a different city, so it will
Oh,
be difficult. The transport, the
you're going to
transportation.
take all of them, right? Yeah,
I
the
have
transportation.
to. I have to.
Right.
No choice. I'll have
Mm,
to take them all. So
right.
a lot of trouble, but fine.
Where are you moving to?
I'm going from Montes Claros, where I
Hmm.
currently am, to the city where I was born. It's called Belo Horizonte.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah, I
yeah,
remember
so
that.
I'm very excited about that.
Right.
Yeah. So the last question, because we are running out of time. Um, so there is this part. I loved like Frank's character. I love them
Mhm.
all. I learned something except the father. But I think at the
Okay.
end,
No, I
you
think
like
there's
the
something
father?
to learn from the. No, I like them all in their own ways. I didn't like, yes, the father. I think he was like I think he was very determined, definitely. Like he was, I think he was a good person at the core of it. He's a good person, just
Mhm.
like very, very, I don't know, confused about what is important. I think at the
Mhm.
end of the day, he just really cared about his family and he wanted the best for his family. I really do think that. Unfortunately, he showed it in a bad way, and I think we can see how much he cared in how much he convinced his daughter that she could win just by thinking she could win.
Yeah, no, yeah, yeah. I think his intentions are good, but I
Right,
was constantly very pissed at him because he was like with these motivational speeches. "Oh,
right.
we have
But you see that
winners and we have losers. Like it was all black and white. You have to choose what
a
you want
lot
to
of
be.
people do that though. That is a lot of
They
people in
do.
the world,
Yeah,
motivational speeches, because that's how they believe people can like make it. So I think he had like really good intentions and
yeah,
he
it
thought that
is.
his way was
Mm-hmm.
the best way and he
Yeah.
had good confidence, which was good.
Yeah, which was good. Yeah, you're right. But he was my least favorite. Let's put it that
No,
way.
definitely,
Yeah.
I think it was definitely written to be most people's least favorite.
Yeah,
Right.
so my favorite was Olive or Olive. Obviously, she was so cute, but also I did like a lot Frank a lot. So
Mhm,
he said that he was talking about past and regrets and the
mhm,
feeling that we have about the things that we have lost. And
mhm,
then he said, I felt myself still reliving a past which was not longer anything more than the story of another person. And then I was thinking about this line, like sometimes we are. Do you say delving? Is
we
that what you
delve
we delve
into what?
into the past?
Okay, sure.
And we keep reliving stories, but they are not stories anymore. They are somehow, I wouldn't say corrupted, but they are creations, imaginations, and I don't know. And sometimes I do find myself reliving the past like it had just happened like a second ago, but
Hmm.
they're not very useful. They make us suffer. They do not, I mean, they might serve a purpose like teaching, learning from it, but I don't know. I sometimes I could relate to him a lot when he
Yeah,
was like thinking about his past relationship and thinking
right.
about how things were and not seeing how different things could be.
Hmm.
because the future, the present is what we make of it. But
Right.
he was, I think by the end of the movie, he was more hopeful. But
Hmm.
throughout the movie, he was like, I can make it. I can do it. I can. The past was the best time I have ever had, and nothing will ever be the same again. But it
Hmm.
could be, don't you think?
Better. Right.
Could be
No, no,
better.
I
It has to.
definitely, it has to, right? I think with Frank was my favorite character in the film because I just like could see that although yes, most people, maybe many people haven't gone that far, but a lot of people know what he was talking about, and most people watching could relate to him. Yeah, I do think like a lot of times, and just like it's like the rejection thing, there are little things in our lives that when we have had negative experiences, especially negative experiences, there are these little things that happen that just immediately pull us back to that place. And your heart starts racing, you start having this panic and this anxiety that you're experiencing that same thing over and over again. It could be like a sound, it could be a smell, it could just be the name of like someone, if somebody that hurt you, and you just keep reliving, like leaving that experience. Because I think like I say this to people, the negative experiences that we have, that experience just imprints more on us than the positive things that happen in our life. It's terrible when people have great relationships that get ruined by something really bad, because the bad just covers all of the great time. And every time you find yourself leaving these happy moments in your life, like, or when you were walking on a beach with this person, you're kind of walking to the end, and you just leave that life, and then you meet the part that you hate so much. But we do leave. I think it would be great if we could realize that it's gone, if we could like just realize that everything could be better. Like in the movie, you could see when Frank started being happy from the running, and the when they're pushing the car and they're running. That was like the first time in the film that he was like really excited about something. And that was like the beginning of a continuous like upward thing. When he went into the grocer, and a great example, when he went into the store at the gas station, he was very positive. He was smiling when he left the car, right? And then he met his past, and just everything
Yeah.
came back down. It would be easy if it could be great if he could just think of the moment that he just spent with his family instead, and think of the trip that he was on that could be such a great thing, and not pay attention to this cat makes a cameo,
Yeah.
not pay attention to this like past that he was. But it is quite hard for us to do that.
Yeah.
Everybody relieves their life, and it is better now. If you think about it, it is better. You are better, and it will be better in the future. But we don't know it when we're thinking, do we?
No, no, we
Uh,
don't. It
yeah.
might be worse.
And we just need those little moments. I think we
Yeah.
need to think of the little moments that excite us and keep on moving like that. Just grab every moment of
Yeah.
like freedom that you can get and keep moving.
No, yeah. And I think not being suffering as an enemy, but as a teacher as well. I
Sorry?
think I think what I've learned about with this movie, the
Hmm.
message was not treat suffering as an enemy,
Right.
but
Right, definitely.
treat it
And
a
teacher.
teacher, as a
Yeah,
teacher. Like, what
teacher.
am I learning here? What can I
Hmm.
take from the situation and make
Hmm.
myself better?
Yeah. Well, I
Because we
think if
learned,
you've gone through suffering, one thing is you don't want to feel that. I feel like that is the main, like, that's one thing that is really important. You understand this is pain. This is really hard for me, and I don't want this anymore. And
yeah,
that is the teaching moment. It's not like some thing that was meant to kill you. Unfortunately, sometimes it does.
yeah,
But if ever it's difficult, I mean, life is really, really difficult. But if we just like could see it as something that made us and just molded us into
hmm
something better,
hmm
then we would be fine.
yeah.
But life is difficult. It's
I
quite
know,
hard.
I
Yeah.
know, Daniel, I know. Yeah, so I wanted to say thank you for this lovely discussion. It's always a
Thank you.
pleasure talking
Yes.
to you.
Yeah, it's my
So
my pleasure too. Thank you.
thank you. And I'll talk to you soon. You have a
Right.
great weekend. And
Thank you. You too. Yeah, it's the
yeah,
weekend. Yes. Have a great
weekend,
weekend too.
weekend. Yeah. So see you later.
See you later. Goodbye.